It's me and my natural. I'm gonna tell y'all, ladies, in this time, lock it down. Shut them up. Close them up. Stop giving these niggas some poom poom. Anytime you lay down with a man, there's a 50-50 chance you become a single mom. Show these Negroes better than you could tell them. Because the moment you come running to these dudes is the moment you give them leverage over you. And I'm not even a feminist, but I know how men think, and I know how niggas think. I know how they act. Whenever they get a little bit of power, whenever they get a little bit of leverage, something to hold over your head, they're gonna use it against you because they've done it in the past. So we must learn from the past. And even if you married, stop giving these niggas babies. Because the one thing about a man, men want legacy without the responsibility. That's what they want. They don't really value family. They just value status. Having a wife and children, it gives them status. They don't really care about you, per se. So, hey, you know, let them put their money where their mouth is. Lock it down. Don't stop giving them poo nanny and see how they really feel. Because that's the best way to get them on their best behavior. Stop making it so easy. Stop giving them the Putin nanny. Stop giving them the poom poom, man. Stop giving it to them. Stop giving them the cat. Since they don't want to help, I just find it funny. I just find it funny how they all complain about women being on, which isn't even really statistically true. So this is just kind of like a follow-up to my last video. I just find it funny how they give females, women, all this grief about being on government assistance, but yet they have an issue actually supporting the women that's raising their children. They don't want to do it anyway. They're always talking about 50-50 and this and that. They're always talking about, well, you said you don't need a man. No, we don't need a deadbeat. We don't need dead weight. We don't need that. We don't need to be controlled. And when they had it their way, and they still, in a lot of ways, have it their way, at the end of the day, we're still under a patriarchy, no matter how it seems to look. I mean, the majority of government officials, the people that run, society, are still majority man. So, no matter how it looks, it's still a patriarchy. Yeah, things have changed. But I mean, there's still a wage gap and all those things. But what I'm saying is, no matter how it looks, dang, I've lost my thought. No matter how it looks, it's like it's still a patriarchy, and there's still a lot of things that go their way. You know what I'm saying? There's still a lot of things that... So basically what I'm saying is, I lost my thought, but at the end of the day, just stop giving it to them. Because if you can't afford to raise them children on your own, you shouldn't be having any. And that's the reason why grandma and mama and grandma and great-grandma told us not to rely on no men. Even my grandmother, my great-grandmother, she was a married woman. She never drove. She's never even had a driver's license. She's never even been behind a wheel. She used to cash my great-grandfather's checks. She told me one time, man, her husband, my great-granddaddy, rather, used to go to one time he tried to go to the bank to cash his checks. They called her right away, flagged him. That's how my grandmother was. My grandmother was a woman. But even her, looking at the caliber of men that we have today, she told me, don't you move that man in your house. Let him watch you go to work. Don't you depend on him to do nothing for you. Get you some education. That's what she told me. Because look at these men, they not trying to do nothing. So why would we depend on a man to do anything for us? So you mad at us for accepting the government to help us raise your babies? Not me personally, but I'm just saying us as a collective. But you don't want to help either. And with it always comes an ultimatum. It's like, yeah, okay, so now what? You're helping us, but now we don't have no identity. You're very controlling. You know what I'm saying? It's very controlling. You're running around, bringing other babies, having side pieces, doing all of this. Like, I know stories, man. I know stories. So many men out here have families outside of their marriages with like 5 other women. I know stories. I've heard them before, personally, firsthand. I got a homeboy back at, I would call him a homeboy, but he a cat, you know what I'm saying? He told me, man, he can't stand his father because the way he treated his mother. She's still married to him, which is wild. That's just the way it was back then. But at the end of the day, no sir. And he would bring those children home for her to raise. Babies with 5 different women. Brought all the children home for her to raise. That's madness. That's what men want. Like, they want leverage. They want to be able to, they want desperate women because they can control them. So as I said before, ladies, cling to each other. Especially you single mothers. But stop giving it up. Single ladies, stop giving it up. Because you're doomed to be you're doomed to be at the mercy of their hands. And that's never a good spot to be in, and being at their mercy. Because you don't know how they're gonna act. They're impulsive, they're unpredictable. Well, they are predictable, but they're unpredictable. If that makes sense. You don't want to be at the mercy of their hands, of their mentality, because they're out for blood, they're out for revenge. A lot of angry dudes out here. And it's really not even about being a family. It's not really about having a meaningful relationship. They're just mad because they're not getting laid. That's really all it's about. They're just mad because they're not getting laid. That's the crazy part about it. It has nothing. These men do not value relationships. I'm sorry, but they don't. Because if they do, they wouldn't have nothing to complain about. A lot of the times it's their type, because they have a type. They have a type. And it's always the same sack chasers that they chasing. And the crazy part about it is, these men don't have no problem with gold diggers as long as they got the money to have, as long as they had the money. Because you never hear a man with money complain about gold diggers. Because the same type of men complaining about gold diggers are the same type of men grinding and hustling so they can obtain those women. Make that make sense? You chasing money so you can gain access to those women, those same gold diggers that didn't want you when you were a lame. You know what I'm saying? And now you mad at all women. But most women I know work. We're never on no housing assistance or never on nothing. I got 2 sisters. They always work. But hey, that's my spiel. Peace and love. You are somebody.